Hey guys, this is Kalen86, aka Raymond. Welcome to another. Let's have this talk about what just happened. As you guys may have guessed, yes, I have the Fun Times T-shirt, and that is pretty amazing. How um, I got this in honor of Isaac, because I had a feeling that his series might end, but I think from the looks of it, guys, it's not over yet because they still have to find Jesse. And what a surprise twist on how that they made it to Francis, aka Boogie's house. But it makes me wonder if he's there. But the question is, where? Yeah, that's the big question. Where did he put? He said he set the mirror somewhere. So the question is, why did he do that? It makes me wonder, like, what if the place that he sent the mirror is? Do you think that's where Isaac's going to be? Because after what he did that double snap. But if you guys remember what the wizard said, that when you snap, you become a character, but when you double snap, it changes your personality. And you guys know how the first time that he actually double snapped was when at the end of the Psycho series back in Switzerland. So it's weird how. So it makes me wonder. So he said he brings a lot of Easter eggs, but at that point when he said that, he said, make sure to watch all my BTS because I'm going to drop in a lot of Easter eggs that you guys are going to be missing out on. And when he said that, and when he did that double snap, when I watched the last BTS on when they went to Psycho Kid kills father to Psycho Kid flees country, and then when we saw that doing that double snap, it was like, hmm. After I went back, I looked at it, it's like, really? Huh. But anyway, guys, Isaac. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this character right up here, guys. Isaac, or is it this way? I don't know. Either way, um, this character, or I would say person, because he's actually a person from a different realm, from obviously from the mirror world. This was a very questionable character because the way that how he acted, the way that it all started with him was unusual. I mean, we saw how Jesse. Well, we saw how Jesse was able to be, like, pepped up. It's like, all right, I can't wait to try this. And the person said, "Are you all right, man? What's wrong with you?" I said, "What?" But overall, guys, the way that he's been acting towards, I mean, all through after when the season was over, then everything changed. Everything was starting to change. A lot of people get saying, "You're Jesse." He said, "No, I'm not Jesse. I'm not Jesse." And it's like, then who are you? That was the question of the day. Every time we watched the videos, he kept saying, "Oh, who are you then?" Is I'm not him. I'm not Jesse. I mean, we were getting close to finding out what his real name was, but sooner or later he started to change. Then we saw Mcjuggernuggets pierce his ears, and it was like, what the? As he did that, he said, "Yeah, it looks really good. What do you think, Jesse? Do you think this looks good?" And we saw him go like this to him. We saw how he was changing and how he was in that mirror world, watching him like, really, you're gonna pierce my ears? What's gonna be next? And after that, guys, we saw him change his hair to black, which was crazy. It was really crazy. And then, last but not least, guys, he decided to put a tattoo on his back. I'm a psychopath, which was really crazy. I mean, coming from a guy who, well, at first he said, "I want to get what the fans want. I want to make a sequel. I want to make Psycho Series 2." And then there you have it. He was preparing to do it, but the problem was, guys, he didn't have no script and he didn't have no idea what to do. And as you guys may have known, Jesse knew what he was going to do. He had everything planned out. He knew what the characters were doing. He said, "You're going to go here. You're going to do this. Now, when I prompt you, I want you to react how I'm reacting to you, and just do what you can." And the other one, and when you went with Uncle Larry, he said, "Improvise. I always want you to improvise on some scenes, and make sure it looks good. I'll tell you if it's better, okay? And then we'll go from there." But not Isaac. No. After when, after when he decided to make that, and the strange thing was when he was going over the plans, he said, "What do we have to do this? We have to do that." And Isaac kept saying, "We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, well, I'll figure that out." But you guys can actually tell that he did not have a plan. He did not know exactly what he was doing. We all know that. But after that, as time went by, we all saw how Jeffrey was not going to be happy, not going to be happy doing this, so he decided to pull out. And then we saw how Isaac was able to. Well, I'm doing it like that. Isaac couldn't believe why Jeffrey wants to quit on something that was amazing. And the funny thing was, we saw how Jeffrey was like, "Dude, that was a Psycho series. It was over. So why can't you just let it go?" And we saw him break that ball and said, "You're gonna do it." He said, "I don't know why I did this, but I can't go back. I can't go back. Everybody wants the Psycho series. Everyone wants Psycho Kid. Everyone wants Psycho Brother." But then as we saw that, he said, "I can't go back." So, but right there, I had a feeling that that Jesse was actually there, but it's just that his mind was like it was like tennis going back and forth with different minds and inside of his body. But then after that, he started to hate it. He was starting to drink again. I mean, all through we saw him drink, and then we saw him cut himself, which he denied not doing. But you guys actually can tell that he was changing everything. But then I start from the beginning. Now we're going back over here. Now we saw him pierce his ears, and then we saw him dye his hair black, and then got a tattoo. And then we saw him spiraling out of control. Dealing with doing. They said we gotta do this. We gotta go over here. Strange thing was, I thought the beginning was great, but the peeing part, I don't see why they added that. I don't get it. But it was starting to get great. But after when Uncle Larry was actually messed it up, that's when Isaac was getting upset, aka Jesse, trying to mess up with the scene. And I was saying, "Hey, don't you think this? Why can't think how Jesse would have done? I mean, how I would have done it." And as you can see right there, it was weird how he was actually bringing up Jesse like that. He said, "But you're Jesse. Why would you say it like that? You add like a third person. You add yourself in the conversation when you're the one who's talking to me." And then after that, we saw him drink some more. Then when they tried to do another scene, Uncle Larry didn't like how he brought up his wife's name, and he didn't want to do that. And then he drank. And then we saw the unthinkable. We saw him going through the lake and decided to drown himself, which was crazy. So, but then he went home. We saw him cut himself, and after that, as time went by, he was getting more depressed. He was drinking a lot. And we saw him try to drown himself in the tub. And that's when his family started to get into his business, saying, "I can't believe you're doing this." And then we saw him be aggressive now with that knife, saying, "You don't know me. You don't know what I'm going through. So just back off." And then that's when we're starting to realize, I think from there, we knew that, this is not Jesse now. But you know what's funny? I watched some other subscribers doing the same thing as I'm doing, and they actually point out something very interesting, and we did not see. We saw how, as you guys know, saw how Jesse titles his videos capitalization, with each word capitalization, next word capitalization, next word capitalization, and so on and so forth. But then we saw Isaac's, it was just like small case letters of the titles. We started seeing that a little bit more now. And it was like, what kind of a title is this? I mean, it feels like a kid's doing it. And then we found out along the way he was 18 years old. And he was from the year 2019. And then we saw how, you played this game? I played this game a long time ago. I don't see why you're playing it. It's old. And we saw Jeffrey saying, "What do you mean? This game came out 2 months ago." I'm saying 2 months because it was in July, but in May, it came out in April, so there you have it. So from then on, we started seeing him be aggressive. We seen him do the one thing that was crazy and scary: drugs. And right there, we seen him show how powerful the snapping is when you look in the mirror and bam, you change into a different character. And I would say that the power of the snap was really crazy. And we saw how Parker was seeing how, saying like, Jesse's acting really strange. I don't understand. But guys, I want to rewind all the way back. I actually forgot one thing that I found that was very disturbing. Seeing besides the drinking, before when he started to drink, he started to do prank videos. What he did to Uncle Larry's channel, that was funny. And what he did with his dad's car, it was a little funny, but okay. But what he did with his best friend's baby, that was a little, that was okay. Then we saw him do the raid, the Psycho Brother raids stream, and he destroyed his brother's TV. That was rude. We seen him pretending to be dead to scare his mom, and that was really off. It was crossed the line right there. But the one that really crossed the line completely, really completely, was when he decided to hire Tom to be a gunman and held his parents at gunpoint, even his brother. And what was really strange about that was is that his dad actually had a gun. He was prepared to shoot him, but then when he pulled the mask off, uh, Jesse was pretending that, oh, come on, it was just a joke. You guys can't take the joke. And he said, that wasn't even a real gun. He said, I don't know that. Is how am I supposed to know? Is what, you want me to wait until he pulls the trigger and bam, I'm dead? And we saw how that goes. Now, fast forward all the way back to where I stopped. And then after that, after when he was doing the drinking and also doing drugs, he was getting high. He destroyed his dad's car window. He destroyed his uncle's set and crapped in it, which was crazy. After that, he pushed a cake in his face, which was not too bad. But then we find out his kids had the stuff and was acting all crazy, and that's when Jesse decided. Isaac, aka Jesse, the mysterious one, decided to tell him, "Oh, that wasn't that; it was cocaine." It was like, "What the hell?" And after that, we saw him go after Swift, and then he was fighting those two kids, which was wrong on so many levels. And then that's when they decided we have to do something about him. And then that's when he pulled the gun. Well, he took his dad's gun and kidnapped Jesse's mom. And then, as we can see, as the video's gone by, that he was willing to threaten Jesse, who was in the mirror, to show himself to talk to him. But every time, still nothing. Are you there, Jesse? Come on, talk to me. Why won't you talk to me? I need you, man. Didn't show up. Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. But the funny thing is, what's going to happen if he does snap? If he's looking at himself in the mirror? In my opinion, Isaac would be back in the mirror, but I don't think that Jesse would come back because you guys saw what happened along the way. And then when he took Jesse's mom to the hotel room and had the knife toward her neck, he said, "I'll do it." Man, how far do you want me to go, man? Show yourself. Save your mom. And then when he didn't show up, he just dropped the knife. He's like, "Oh my God!" So he brought her back and talked to Isaac about what the hell is the matter with you. You told me your name, and why are you acting this way? Because I'm having my time here. I love it here. Everyone likes me. But the funny thing was, we all know everybody doesn't like him because the way he was treated. And he kept saying, "I'm not the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy." Then what are you? I mean, you just had a knife. You were pointing a gun at a family that wanted to be there for you, but you didn't want to let them in because you're too scared to show your feelings and how you are handling it. But that's the point. That's the point, guys. That's what I said all along. They're there to help. Let them help. But then along the way, we saw how. Now, I would say that did cross the line. Grabbing him and grabbing the mirror and put a gun to his head to force him to snap. But the one thing I found crazy was like when he arrived, I said, "Wow, they accept me. I have a new family now." But the one thing that made it really hard for Isaac to try to be in this family was Jeffrey. And they said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm eating cantaloupe." Why? Because Jesse doesn't eat cantaloupe. And I said, "Well, I'm not Jesse. I'm Isaac." He said, "Yeah, you are." And the funny thing is, you're eating with your right hand, and Jesse's left hand, and you're left-handed. Is why don't you snap back, please? And that's when it all changed. After all that, that's when he left. And then he went to Parker's house to try to see if Jesse was there, because Parker did say that he was talking to him. And that's when he shot him, and he destroyed the mirror. And then VidCon came. Everyone wanted to say, you're not a good role model. Bring Jesse back. And they grabbed a Juggy in order to get him to make him show himself by putting a knife to his neck. And when Parker told him when he came back alive, which was crazy, and that really scared him. And the funny thing was, I like when he said, "Kid, say oh snap," and then when he said it, bam, the wizard shows up. Now right there, that's when the story took a turn for the worst. And as he ran off, and after when VidCon was over, we saw how he destroyed the mirror, which we found out it was a decoy just to prove a point. And they said that I did that. I wanted to make them suffer for what they did to me. And we saw how he was trying to shoot himself. And now, back to the video that we saw, The Devil Inside, we saw how Isaac was able to come to grips, accepting the fact that he didn't want to go back, but he had to because he couldn't stand it here anymore, with the wizard, with Uncle Larry, his brother, and Parker surrounding him. They had to give him the double snap, and he did. But now the question is, where's the mirror? That is the big question. And what really shocked me was that they went to Boogie's house. So is Jesse there? I don't know. But the strange thing about it was when they were looking at that picture, when he saw his tattoo, it said, "I'm a psychopath." That gave a clue because it reminds you. I want to remind you guys, Isaac hated the Psycho series, hated it with a passion. So it made you wonder, like, why did he decide to put a tattoo that was part of the Psycho series on his back? That kind of told me that, well, in my opinion, this is my theory, I think the characters were trying to get control of Isaac to try to make him realize what he's doing is wrong. And I think that tattoo was actually a message to reach out to them, telling them that we need Jesse back, and we're trying to fight and get him out. So, after that, I'm waiting for this new video to pop up, so it makes you wonder, where is he? Where is Jesse Ridgway? Oh, the one thing that made it crazy, I was right on that one point. When he said he was about to pull the trigger, he was going to kill himself, I was saying, Jesse, I said, Jesse, don't do it. And I was right, partially right on that. But he didn't say ask the questions, but he's saying that you're a character. So I'm not a character. I said, if I'm not a character, what if, how do I know that the next word you gotta say is go F yourself? It's like, what the hell? How did you know? So he was controlling the whole thing. So he said that he decided he was upset after the series was over. He couldn't bear the fact that he tried to do a Halloween series. He was doing role reversals and also doing the Christmas series. It wasn't enough. But this new series, guys, the Escape series or the Devil Inside series or the Mirror series, either one of those three, this one was actually way better because we were seeing a character or a person in Isaac's eyes trying to deal with the new world that he's in, and he wanted not to escape from the old world that he was at. So, but it didn't work out. This wasn't his world, and I think Isaac knew that in his heart, but he didn't want to come to grips with the feeling. But he's afraid to go back. Well, guys, there's a saying that goes. This saying goes is that a strong person can fear nothing, but a real strong person will face his fears head on. Will have the courage to face it. So, even though he didn't want to do it, but he actually double snapped. So he's back to his world. So he has to face what's waiting for him on the other side. So, guys, the question is, where is Jesse Ridgway? Is he at Boogie's house, or is he somewhere else? That's the thing. That is a good question. Is he at Boogie's house? Is he at Juliet's house? Or is he at Switzerland? I'm not sure. But all I know is, guys, is that Isaac's gone. And now the search for Jesse Ridgway continues. Hopefully when the new video comes out. Give me your opinions on where do you think he is. We'll see. Those are my three options. He might be at Boogie's, he might be at Juliet's, or he might be at Switzerland. I have a feeling he might be Juliet's. We'll see. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more reaction for gameplay. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed this. Is he at Boogie's? We will see. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to stay positive. And Isaac, I'm gonna miss the fun times with you. You're a good character, and I have a feeling we'll see you again.